Welcome to the show.
Hey, have you ever thought, man, if I could go back and be in a computer and design how my body's going to be, that you would do that?
Yes, every day.
And
Not
you
really.
would change the size of your nose
Hey,
or the colour of your hair?
Or your body fat
Ali.
percentage.
Ali, I've got 6 words for you. Clustered regularly into space, short palindromic repeats.
That's so sexy.
Battlestar Galactica.
out of those 6 words, I knew none.
Enigma.
Clustered?
Nope.
Short?
Custard?
Short. Custard.
Clustered.
Shortbread.
Short. So anyway,
My nose is too big?
that's...
What?
Can this make me skinny? I want to know.
No, you're too...
No,
Ah,
you
too
missed
too
that
late
boat.
for
It
you.
could make your metabolism better, couldn't it?
No, if he was a sperm and an egg.
It's a bit late.
I used to be.
It's been a while
Me
since
too.
it's got
Has
to
mates?
Good times.
Good old days,
Anyway, so what this is called CRISPR. It's a technology that...
CRISPR.
Isn't that where you put the vegetables in your
It's got
fridge?
nothing to do with fried
No.
chicken.
Okay.
No.
What?
Anyway, it's a new technology from 2013, I think,
Ooh.
to edit people's genetic code
Oh.
at the embryonic stage, I think. Or you can just put it into cells, but you do it at the embryonic stage because otherwise there's too many of them. and
Wow.
can't-
You know what I heard? They have to do it when the embryo and the sperm are hitting each other. They've got to do it right then for it to work really
Yeah,
well.
That's when
Apparently
this one had to be done.
It's just a little.
So there's a lot of different. So anyway, what these guys have done, some researchers have managed to edit the embryos like genes. So they made 58 embryos out of sperm and eggs that were donated.
Right.
Out of 52 of them, the male sperm had this particular genetic disorder, which is like,
It was a
here
heart
it is.
thing,
It's
right?
hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which
Ooh,
causes
that's a mouthful.
It
I've
causes
heard of that.
enlarged heart muscles, and it's the number one cause of young athletes dying
Oh, wow.
suddenly. So you hear of like fit athletes having like a heart attack out of nowhere. It'll probably be this.
Is that like the one in lacrosse where you get hit in the chest and you can just die from it?
I think it's like people could just die from it because they have an enlarged heart already.
Right. Nope.
I think that's just getting hit.
It's probably
to
just
death.
getting hit in the
Right.
chest.
Yeah. That also causes death.
Yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, they managed to. So this gene is a dominant gene, right? This faulty gene. So
The heart disease gene.
yeah, the one with the disease is a dominant gene.
Mm.
So that means if the father has it but the mother doesn't have it, 75% chance that you'll have the kid will have
Right.
it because it's
Devo.
dominant, right? So these scientists were able to create 42, I think. 42 out of these 58 embryos didn't have it. They managed to
Wow.
remove from 42 out of 58. If you would expect at 75%, it would be 43 that would have it.
Wow.
So they had a very high success rate of getting rid of this like disease.
How?
Well done,
So
science.
what this thing does, this CRISPR-Cas9 technology, therapy, they inject it with the sperm into the egg at the same time.
Wait. These are very small needles.
Yeah,
Yeah, these aren't like in people or anything.
it's like
In a
it's for IVF.
It's in a petri dish.
in a little dish.
Yeah, this would be used in IVF. It's outside the body.
Right.
I'm just trying to imagine what it looks like,
It's like a little blob,
but it's very, very small.
and inserting more blob stuff into another blob. That's pretty much what it looks
That's
like.
pretty
Yeah,
spot on, I
probably.
think.
There wasn't a video. I didn't.
So anyway, so they managed to remove the faulty gene
Wow.
from most of the embryos. The way this technology would be used is if, say, if you know you have a genetic disorder,
Mm.
you would create a baby through IVF,
Mm-hmm.
and they would use this technology on it, which would give you a much higher... So they've already got a technology where they can test the embryo to see if it has the disease
Right.
before they put it into the parents.
Hectic.
IVF is really expensive. They only get a certain number of viable embryos to insert into the mother, and only a certain percentage of them, a very small percentage, will actually work.
Survive, yeah.
So it's very expensive. This technology could mean that you get a very high percentage of those embryos not having the genetic disease in the first place, which would give you a higher number going into the mother's womb, which would give you a higher chance of having a baby.
That's incredible.
But this technology is insane. I was reading into it. There's so many different places that it can be used. Apparently, the biggest one is actually understanding what each of the genes does, because you can just choose a different protein strand, They can like pick whatever protein strand they want, and they can use this CRISPR thing to edit that particular gene.
Wow.
What this study managed to do was not create mosaics, which have a mix of different types of genes. And they managed to not have the wrong genes getting manipulated as well. So that's also a problem that they're trying to tackle at the moment. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Apparently, you can't use the technology they use to design your baby.
I was just about to say, does this lead to design a baby as well?
Not this particular technology.
Okay.
Because what they noticed was that it wasn't doing what they thought it was doing. What they thought it was doing is they were inserting genetics that didn't have the fault, but it was actually destroying the gene sequence that had the fault. And then the process of like the DNA being formed, it was like just going, oh, that's broken, so we'll take it from the mother. So it was removing bad DNA, but it wasn't inserting good
Right.
So
DNA.
they accidentally discovered something awesome.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting way of going about it. So they only had the Cas9, which is like this molecule that goes with the CRISPR, and it was just kind of destroying the bad gene sequence, but it wasn't inserting something new, which I guess technically gets around some laws about GM stuff.
Interesting.
It's pretty ethically ambiguous.
They're not adding anything, they're just taking away the bad stuff.
This one, they weren't adding anything.
Wow.
So you're not introducing so you can't do a designer baby. You can't have two parents and go, oh, I want to have green eyes in my
But
kid.
can you remove things such as a strain of brown eyes or obesity? Is that a genetic sequence?
Yeah, I'm sure you could remove the brown one. I don't know if that would give you you'd probably just get a much
Just
higher
change the
chance.
odds.
Yeah, you're changing the odds, but the genes have to exist in the parents.
So, how about this? I'm guessing, I don't know if we're there yet, but we'll get to a point where we can pinpoint which genes dictate what in a person. Sounds like we're sort of halfway there. So, for example, I'm Asian descent and my wife's Caucasian. If we were to remove, like Chris said, brown eyes from our child's embryo,
Just have no eyes.
could be born with like an Asian-looking child that has blue eyes.
Yeah, we're a long way, I hope.
Okay, that's
I hope we're
that's a
long
bit
way
more
from that.
fantasy.
But
isn't it?
yeah, you could theoretically, I guess.
Because
Have a
the
blue-eyed
brown
kid.
would just go somewhere and then something would take its place.
No, it takes from
Yeah.
the other person.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
takes from the
exactly.
other person. But the other person presumably has blue and brown as well.
Yeah.
Or she might have double blue, I don't know. So
So
it
you
depends.
could almost design what you look like based on the parents, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're really ugly but your wife's really good looking, just take out most of you.
Just swap the whole thing.
I mean, at that point, maybe you should just consider doing IVF with a different You're trying to take all of you out anyway.
Yeah, just less of me,
More of
more
you.
of you.
But I want him to have my creativity.
The creative gene.
Is there a creative gene?
I don't think so.
They haven't found it yet.
This is actually scary. This is genuinely scary technology, though. If you read into it, it's really cheap to do. So it used to be
Wow.
that, like, stuff to manipulate genes, there's been different methods from, like, the last 30 years, but they were really expensive. This one's like $30 to get the particular
Whoa.
protein strand that you need to attach to target a specific gene.
Crazy.
But the eggs heaps expensive, right? Or
An embryo,
the-
but
yeah.
people are doing it for everything.
BYO
So,
eggs.
like, someone modified a virus to kill all the fruit flies in a particular room. Like, you can do stuff that's, like, actually insane and scary. Like, and it's, like, really easy to do, apparently.
You like kill
So
all the white people?
there's
in the
actually,
room?
like, everyone who was doing other stuff just switched over to doing this. Everyone who was doing other gene research just went, all right, we're doing CRISPR now.
Wow.
And it wasn't that hard. And there's no way to regulate, and there's Chinese scientists who have already tried to do stuff that didn't quite work, but it's like they're working on human embryos right now. There's people right now who are going to be doing stuff like that, and it's impossible to tell if anyone's going to be ethical about it. And even worse, it's impossible to control whether people do something really dangerous, like create something like Planet of the Apes style, which could be like, so one group of researchers had created this like thing that mice breathed in, and it caused like lung cancer in them because they wanted to study lung cancer. And the thing was like, okay, if they made a slight mistake in that protein strain and it targets humans instead of the mouse, you created a virus that creates lung cancer in people and is breathable.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Hypothetical. Could you create chimeras doing this? Like, have different species together by deleting certain things?
No.
I don't think it makes the chimeras easier or harder. You still have to be able to stick
two different things together. I'm not sure how
with.
that would work with DNA.
But once we have chimeras, this could help dictate whether it's a crocodile with wings or an eagle with a crocodile's jaw.
I like where your head's at.
You can create mosaics, which is like the same person's DNA, but some of it's different from another person, but it's inside the same person. A chimera is like two different embryos get stuck together, and then they both kind of grow. But it was two different embryos.
If the technology gets there, would you guys want to design your babies?
I would want to.
Gattaca.
I think the idea is making your baby healthier.
Yeah, I think that's the extent that I would push it to. I would want to check and say, is everything okay? Can we get rid of anything that might be unhealthy?
What if it said your baby boy at age 20 is going to be 5'2"? Would you make him taller if you could?
Yeah, well, that's what Gattaca deals with the movie, where it's just like they went Faithborn was called when you didn't design it, and then so in the movie there's brothers. The first one's a Faithborn, the second one's a designed one, and it's just like would you want to roll the dice and your kid get a disease when he's a teenager, like? And then, like, once you start doing that, is like, yeah, and I want him to, like, run fast.
Yeah, that's
obviously.
right. And be super smart and all the rest.
I want his synapses to fire really quick and things like that, right?
I want hectic metabolism.
Yeah. Not too fast, though, because you die quicker. But, you know.
Yeah, I'd like to think no. But then imagine you're in a society where everyone's doing it, and then you don't do it, your kid's going to be, like, disadvantaged for the rest of their life.
Yeah, and you start after impersonating Jude Law.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
Yeah.
And you go swimming off in the darkness. It doesn't make any sense.
Love that movie.
I think if that did happen, eventually not being designed would become the attractiveness because it would be more rare. Because everyone would look the same.
Freak.
I got a natural baby.
I wonder if by then, like, they'll be able to create an artificial womb, and then you won't even need to put the IVF baby back in the woman.
Matrix.
Well, they've done it for land.
And then it'll be like Superman and Krypton in
Matrix.
Man of Steel.
It's like when you start a new game, you know? You roll your stats, get a good one.
Okay.
Sometimes
that could be an interesting way of regulating it. Give everyone a set number of points.
Exactly.
You can't make someone too good.
You can re-roll your stats 5 times.
Choose where you want to be good.
But you know what they would do? They'd just make it, you can buy the points.
Pay to play.
Pay to win.
Pay to win. Chris, you're thinking...
Capitalist.
Bloody microtransactions.
You are thinking right. You're a businessman.
Where socialists be like trying to tear the top people down.
I'm just saying that's what's going to happen.
Is that it for that?
Bloody communists.
Whoa.
Karl Marx over here.
Just saying that's how it works, okay? Don't shoot the messenger.
You dress like a communist.
Shoot Trump.